Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Sure a couple of people show up. I'll kill some time by singing to you guys. Me. Yo, 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 yo. Check it out. Yo, 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 yo. I be walking God like a dog. My arrogance, fearless. My war returns like Baldwin home from Paris, like fear from the furnace. I was born landless. This is the native son, born of Zapata's guns. Remember when Rage Against the Machine used to be cool? Now they're just like yelling at people. I guess they haven't changed anyway. Hey, Alan. What's up, everybody who shows up? There's going to be a conversation for the most part about Surfer Rebirth, issue number 5 of 5. So this was freaking fantastic. Could have been better, but it could have been a whole lot worse. This was, for me, this was amazing. I want to see if I can share my screen, see some of my stuff that I wanted to do here. Okay, I don't know how to do that. So let's share screen. I think I can share screen with, here we go. There's some stuff here. I've got some stuff up. But it doesn't appear to be the things that I want to show. No, bunch of porn. I'm joking. I don't know how to do this. Screw it. Sorry. I should buy the actual physical comic once in a while. Anyway, so issue 5 of 5 has just come out. Silver Surfer Rebirth. Let me see. What, who, what, when, where, why. We've got... This issue is called Getting Real. So Ron Mars is the writer, and Ron Lim is the penciler. Don Ho on inks, Israel Silva doing the colors, and VC's Joe Sabino doing the letters. Ron Lim, Don Ho, and Israel Silva do the cover. Miko Soyen and Alex Gamarez does a variant cover, and so does Jung Gun Yoon. Of course, Silver Surfer and all of that stuff was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So Tyrant is sitting here kicking some serious butt. And it's literally down to Silver Surfer and Thanos, which is exactly what we were all hoping for. And they're going at it. And the art in this is fantastic. And it only gets better. Why? Well, one, because Ron Lim is a freaking genius, who is the guy that George Perez, who did the Infinity Gauntlet, said, you should be getting Ron Lim to do this. And Ron Lim actually did finish with issue 5 and all of issue 6. So there's that. But at one point, Tyrant, who has the reality gem, only the reality gem, mind you, that was Thanos's gem, going back to when Jim Starlin did the Infinity Gauntlet, and afterwards the Infinity Watch, where Adam Warlock disseminated the individual gems to several people, and they didn't know who the 6th and final person was, and it turns out it was Thanos. Thanos was disturbed at his little farm that he did. They actually show it here at one point. He goes back home. He goes back home, and he's got the scarecrow with his armor set up there, and he sits down, and he's got the gem, and he just looks at it, and he can just sit and change the reality around him if he wants, or just think, or look off into the distance, or navel gaze, which is the term that they used to give to the Greek philosophers, back in the ancient Grecian days. But they get into the art in here, where this first image of the, I can't show this. Mar-vell said I'm not allowed to show their images when they share them with me. Sorry, guys. I'm looking at the stuff that Mar-vell sent me. But anyway, there's a wavy image of all these different realities and versions and ways of drawing, like melting and blocks and abstract shapes and various shimmering colors and whatnot of Surfer and Thanos. And they're both getting into it, like trying to handle this, but it's the Surfer who's able to actually focus and escape from reality and actually shatter through it. And it's the way he says, I have no choice. I must resist and become again that which I am. This is where I don't often give a whole lot of credit to the letterer, but VC's Joe Sabino in this, he chooses a couple of different fonts. And I mean, it's probably not the hardest thing in the world to do, but whatever. This is a picture of me. Hi, not caring. I love the idea that a different font was used for each one of these panels as Surfer is talking and become, again, that which I am, that which I have chosen to be. I am the Silver Surfer, and mine is the power cosmic. And he punches right through, like with his power cosmic, blasts right through the shaping of the reality gem and goes back into the normal reality because the Surfer chooses his own destiny. Now, what does that actually mean? It doesn't actually mean anything. It's just a bunch of words. But at the end of the day, it's something that you don't see in almost all of the other comics. You got a bunch of heroes who are running around and they're pseudo heroes. They're hero-ish. And they don't know what it means to be a hero anymore. I'm sorry. I have to go back, and I'm going to mention there's a bunch of, and I don't want to like compliment Mars and Lim on here. I don't want to compliment the two Rons at the expense of anybody else. But at the end of the day, and guys, I'm going to get to all the questions at the end, I promise, like I always do. I don't want to insult anybody else while I'm giving praise to other people because that's not what anybody wants to see. But I have to give reference. I'm going to use Ta-Nehisi Coates for one thing because he's writing my favorite character, or he was at least writing my favorite character, Captain America. I don't know what's going on with that now. I think that series ended. But as much as I can say that Ta-Nehisi is a good writer, and you might not like what he writes, but he is a very good writer. Is he good at writing comic books? I'll say no. For the most part, he gets it sometimes. Sometimes he's really on there when he's not getting preachy and trying to teach us his philosophy and what. Like, I'm just not interested in his philosophy. And once he did that Jordan Peterson, like you want to compare a guy to the freaking Red Skull? It was just so silly. It was asinine, you know? But it is what it is. When you've got somebody who's writing Captain America, literally the most confident person ever. If anybody was going to give, like, the second most confident person in the Marvel Universe would probably be Thor. And the guy who would give counsel to Thor would be Captain America. When you've got Captain America and he's just like, I'm going to let these women lead and I'm going to let Black Panther lead. And I can see letting Black Panther lead to a certain degree because he's done it before under Kirby. And I was very pleased to read it because it was done very well. But just the idea of, I'm just a soldier. Nah, bitch, you're a captain. You led people into war before. And it's one of those funny things, like people who've never been in the military before. I'm sorry. I remember when I was in basic training in the Army, and I remember very distinctly the drill sergeant. He was actually a 12 Bravo. He was a field engineer, a combat engineer. He'd be the guy who'd go around placing landmines strategically all over the place and tripwires and, you know, the things that we can only begin to do. And he would actually dominate, you know. And he yelled at us all. One guy in particular, he actually called him out. And he's like, you know, what the hell's your problem, Private? What the hell's your problem? You can't think? And he stopped and he realized he's not supposed to target any one person. It's supposed to be group punishment. He shouted. He not shouted, but he said, he addressed everybody. He says, I want everybody here to think about every time you've heard something about the military, every time you've seen a movie where somebody says, Private, you're not paid to think. Privates, that is the movies. In reality, you are paid to do nothing but think and act upon those thoughts. You are absolutely paid to think. And we're going to break you down and get rid of all the silly thoughts you have and build you full of a confidence you never imagined you would have. And we will give you the decisiveness of will to enact your will, which is our will, upon whatever targeted area we deem necessary. We are paid to think. Soldiers are not just some mindless drones. No, those are called drones, and little nerds operate those. Soldiers, men, go out and they fight. And the idea that Captain America doesn't know how to lead, I knew my exact chain of command down to the squad. I knew exactly which people in my squad or in my team had to die before suddenly I'm in charge. We all knew that. In fact, this is one of the things why we did so well in Vietnam. I know there's going to be some people saying, but we lost Vietnam, right? Yeah, from at home. It was a very unpopular war. Sorry, how was anybody going to beat us in Vietnam? So it's just one of those weird things. Like when I see somebody saying something like Captain America is just a soldier, I'm like, yeah, that's all he needs to be. That's all anybody needs to be. But that super soldier serum helps a lot too. Captain America doesn't play second fiddle to anybody. So I see things like that, and it's like you don't know how to give this character the confidence that he needs. And I read something like this, and I say, these are people who not only know how to write, but they know these characters. They know these characters so well. I don't know what the hell the Silver Surfer was talking about with the things that he was talking about, but what I do know that when he said those things, when Silver Surfer said those things, I am the Silver Surfer, and mine is the power cosmic. I thought, this is a guy who's confident. This is a guy who knows who he is. This is a badass. This is the guy I want to read. This is the character I want to read. This is the book I want to read. This is the story I want to read. This is the writer I want to read. These are the artists I want to read. This is how you put together a comic book. Guys, was Ron Mars the best of the writers for the Silver Surfer back in the 90s? No. He wasn't the worst. He was above average. He was much more than above average. You know, he wrote some incredible stories. We usually go back and we look at Jim Starlin for the best Surfer stories. And aside from that one, we'd have to argue that freaking Stan Lee and Jack Kirby wrote the best Silver Surfer stories. Ron Mars would probably be like the third out of them. Maybe somebody's going to argue somebody else. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Like Sergio with Englehart's run. That's actually a very good commentary right there, right? There were a few people, not a lot, but there were a few people who were trusted to write a good Silver Surfer story. And Mars was not the top of those, but he was one of those people. And here's this guy who was like second, third, maybe fourth best, who is just, he is shining so far and above and brighter than anything that any current writer is doing right now. I include all the people who I say, I really like what they're doing. Mars is killing it. Why? Because it's that old school mentality, that old school way of thinking and putting forth a comic book and having a story that's just going to smack that ass, you know? I wish that I could actually show these. I got all these freaking images here and I can't show them because bleh. But anyway, where'd my book go? Oh, duh. I should look over here for the book. Clearly, Thanos and Silver Surfer are going to beat Tyrant. The question is the way that they're going to beat them and what they do afterwards. At one point, Surfer is the one who gets the reality gem. When he gets the reality gem, first off, it's the way that Tyrant is beat. This is so Silver Surfer. It happens, and it's like, this is what needed it. This is exactly what needed to happen. And yet, there's some heart. There's some feeling to it. There's the reflection, because that's who Silver Surfer is. God, I wish more comic books were written like this. If only. And you see it, and it's like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. And Silver Surfer's got a very similar look. And it's amazing. He goes and he picks up the gem. He goes and he picks up Sue-Ann. Jeez, could I have missed you anymore? He goes and he picks up the reality gem. And he goes back. Jesus Christ, if people could write like this. He picks up the gem and he sees Shalla-Bal. The stuff that happens there is beautiful. And if you know about the Silver Surfer, you understand the character, even remotely, you know who Shalla-Bal is by me saying the name. You're like, Oh, yeah. The girl he was supposed to marry, the girl who he gave up his life and his freedom in order to protect her and all of the people. He made what is essentially the something very akin to the ultimate sacrifice is supposed to be death, right? Martyrdom, whatever. He did something above and beyond that to a degree. He gave up his freedom of will to serve Galactus. And now he gets to see, because the reality gem is showing him the reality, and not even just showing him. It's not just a thing of the mind. That's the thing that's so crazy. This is the reality gem, not the illusion gem. It put him in this different altered reality where he's back home. And it's everything he ever wanted. But he knows he can't stay. If Spider-Man could be written like this again, hell, if Silver Surfer could be written like this again, if Captain America could be written like this again, if these stories could be written again that gave us this emotion instead of just looking and going, oh, that happened. Oh, that was cool. No, if these stories could be written like this again that made us feel something. Anybody who's my age who remembers the baseball card collectors, going, oh, we got, our stuff sells more. One, not anymore. I don't see movies being made about your baseball cards. I do see movies being made about my comic books, though. And the only thing we can say is, yeah, well, they don't sell for more, but geez, I mean, we got cool stories we could read. And that was all we needed. It didn't matter, the guys who collected baseball cards. It didn't matter. Go collect your baseball cards. You know what I'm saying? Go sit on your mommy's lap while you look at your stats and scores for all I care. I always loved baseball, so I collected baseball cards too. Not the point. I collected football cards too for a while. I never really watched football. I didn't know who any of the people were. It was like, oh, football cards. Should collect those also. And I saw soccer. I'm like, why the hell would I collect soccer? I need to stop collecting football. But anyway, I had all the 85 Mets, Yankees. They were worth something. Lost them. But we always said that's okay because we've got our comic books. We've got our incredible stories. Nowadays, it'd be like, yeah, I might as well go collect baseball cards. Because there's just simply not that much out there. I'm not going to isolate anybody and point the finger. I might point that finger, but I'm not going to point the finger at these guys. I'm just going to, indicate, like, this was something. I felt something reading this, and it's not that I felt anger because you messed up my character again. That's all I ever feel most of the times. No, they made us feel for the characters. They reminded us who these characters were. Now, look, I don't know about anybody. Anybody really amazingly freaking awesome and great could write 5 stories and hey, but just like I said, I think it was around issue 1 or issue 2 that I reviewed. I said, it's cute that they get to do this 5-issue story. Here's the question. Will they be allowed to just take over the Silver Surfer and write an ongoing for the Silver Surfer? Would they be allowed to do that? I still haven't gotten around to reading Dan Slott's Silver Surfer run. I heard it was beautiful and amazing and you'd cry during it. And it's like, that's awesome. But I couldn't get into the art. It just wasn't for me. Just, it is what it is. Sorry. This art, this is just standard, beautiful comic book art. This is Ron Lim. This is one of the greats. This is one of the guys who isn't just good at drawing an individual character in a comic book. He's great at drawing teams. Like I said, he finished up the Infinity Gauntlet. He did the Infinity Crusade. He did the other one also. There were 3 of them. He did both of the other ones and finished the Infinity Gauntlet. I don't have his name on my Infinity Gauntlet yet, but I got the other guys. Oh, look at that. Little Matt Byrne. I find more and more freaking my jiu-jitsu stuff than anything. I got a really nice one here. I'm going to show you my stomach. Well, right on here. Look at that one. And it actually goes up here. If I didn't have my Italian chest, it was actually deep tissue, and I couldn't train for the past 5 days. It doesn't hurt as much anymore. But if I'm not careful, just all of a sudden, bam! So is what it is. But I'm telling you, man, my freaking jiu-jitsu, dude. Whew! But anyway, I know it's a bunch of people left. You didn't want to see my nipple? Anyway, I got a couple of bruises all over, but I'm good. I'm the better for it. So anyway, I would love to see an ongoing of this. That's what I would love to see. What's more, even if they didn't do an ongoing, could we get another 5-issue limited series? No. Because I mean, they could just do an ongoing. What's the difference? But I noticed that what they do with a lot of the cool older guys, like Peter David, with his doing his with him doing his Maestro and Hulk stuff that he did back in the day. He'll do like 5 issues here, 5 issues here, 5 issues here, right? I would like to see him do a couple of things like that if they're not going to just give him the ongoing. But even then, that would be out of continuity for the most part. When you're just doing 5 issues here, 5 issues there, they're not necessarily in continuity. If Mars and Lim could handle it, I would love to see Mar-vell allow them to do an ongoing and just say, here, the Silver Surfer is yours. And anybody who wants to do something with the Silver Surfer, they have to go through your editor first. And your editor is going to be on your side. So this way I don't see the Silver Surfer and the Silver Surfer comic book by Ron Mars and Ron Lim, the two Rons, off on the other side of the universe. And then all of a sudden he shows up to fight Shumagorath in the streets of New York City for an issue. And then he goes back there. It's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I want to see things in actual continuity. Look, if you can't give us the content because too many people did too many crazy things out of continuity, we'll try harder, for one. But two, the least you can do is make it so that we know where Silver Surfer is. We know where Wolverine is. We know where freaking Ant-Man is. We know where all these people are. And if they show up someplace else, then it takes away from them in their own comic book or in their own team book, whatever other books that they appear in. It should affect them. If, Thor is in the Avengers, let's just say, and all of a sudden Thor has to be doing something else in some other book, well, then I want him to be absent from that book, and I don't want it to affect the storyline. I don't want them in the middle of the Kree-Skrull War, and Thor just disappears for that issue because he had to go and have a conversation with Hercules back in this book. Dude, no, come on. I want to see stuff like this. I just want to see comic books written and drawn exactly like this, or better, whatever. I know these guys are getting old. This was emotional. This was moving. And it just makes me want more. And this is the kind of thing, especially if they could advertise it or just keep doing things like this so people like me and other people could advertise it for them. Just get it out there. Hey, check out this book. Check this out because it's amazing. This is what comic books were back in the day. This will make you feel something for the character. This will make you want to be a better person. This will make you want to pick yourself up by the bootstraps or whatever and go out and be a champion, be a hero. This is the stuff that gave me my motivation in the martial arts when I was a kid. I would imagine myself being Captain America or Spider-Man or Wolverine, doing my martial arts and whatnot, working my way up in these belts. That's the kind of stuff I did. I remember one time I told my mom when I was actually 14 years old, but I remember telling my mom, she's like, you're killing that chicken. She made chicken. She's like, you're killing that chicken. I was like, I'm not going to waste, because I don't think Wolverine would waste. I was so dumb, but you know what I'm saying? I actually said that to my mom one time when I was 14 years old, just got into high school, my freshman year, 9th grade. And it's like, I said that. I found myself saying that out loud. I don't think that Wolverine would waste, so I'm not going to waste. What a freaking nerd I was. And yet, you know what I'm saying? It's not just because I was a kid. In some ways, these were things that's like, these are the ideals that I want to impart onto my kids, Anyway, guys, let me go through the comments like I promised I would. Alan, what's up? GT Key Comic, what's up, dude? Adam 3817, sup, dude? Really haven't heard a thing about it. Alan, jump on it. No, I didn't upgrade my camera. I'm just using. No, yeah, actually, I'm just using the same camera. I'm using a different program though. I'm using my live streamer thing here as opposed to something else. Anyway, excuse me. Adam, he says, "Hey, Comic Book University. I come from an alternate universe where gnomes oppressed the Polish people from 1401 to 1835, and comics are great." You know, I'm okay, and I feel bad for the Polish people, but maybe the gnomes have an actual grudge, like a legitimate grudge against them. But as long as comic books are great, again, I feel bad for the Polish people. But I mean, if the comic books are all great, I'm good with it. Sorry. Cześć. It's the only Polish I know. And it means, how are you? Hi. William Chandler. William Chandler. William Chandler. Chandler was the first name of the guy in Friends, but Chandler is also the name of the guy on Mr. Beast. Are you one of those guys? Anyway, what's up, William? This is why I watch your show. Get your version of recent comic books. I try. Also, later on, he says, check out the new independent comic book called Dark Storm. Looks like it could be good. Dark Storm. I will try to remember. Is that like Mirrorverse X-Men? Because Busty Tornado. Hello, Professor. Oh, Busy Tornado. I was going to say like a tornado with boobs. That, I think I was married to her once. Anyway, Busy Tornado. What's going on? How you doing? Sergio, that's honestly so cool. He returns to his farm. Honestly, contemplative Thanos is the best. Yes, I agree. Characters going to be contemplative, but they still need to be heroes. Yes, and Thanos is not a hero, but Thanos recognized something in himself, you know? And for Thanos to be able to sit down like that, it was like it was a beautiful thing. And we were reminded of that in this issue. Because Thanos, when the Surfer grabbed the gem and he broke himself out of it, Thanos was like, Surfer, you know that gem was entrusted to me. And he's like, yes. And he says, not just yet, though. And he does something else. I think 8 people will get that. Actually, there are 8 people in the chat, so maybe you guys are the ones. No, there's more now. Anyway, I think 8 people will get why that's so cool, the thing that he does and why he does it, and what that could imply. I'm just going to tell you. He restores Jack of Hearts. Could we have a Jack of Hearts series coming out? It could be a short one. It would probably be a short one, but could we have that? Just to remind people who'd forgotten or to inform people who never knew how actually cool Jack of Hearts really can be. And if it's written by Mars and drawn by Lim, like if the two Rons are going to do this and bring back Silva and all them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be a really great thing. I genuinely do. I think that would be amazing. That's just me. The Art Chemist, what's going on, dude? I miss you, man. The Comic Book University, what's going on? No, just chilling. Sergio, he also got trusted with Kyle Rayner as well. I love Ron Mars. Yeah, didn't he create Kyle Rayner? I thought he did. Suan, Art Chemist agrees. I like when people agree. Introspection and stakes for the character. Yes, Sergio. Art Chemist is laughing. I guess that was me laughing. Him laughing at my nipple, or laughing at my bruise. Anyway, Slot's Run is essentially Doctor Who meets Silver Surfer. Is it? Okay, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Limited Genis Vale series being written by Peter David. Oh, is it being written by Peter David this year? I'm down to read that. I am down to read that. Awesome. El Franco, hey, what's up, Professor? Just got on. Well, how you doing, bro? Because I'm about to get up pretty soon. Silva Surfer just got here. That sucks, dude. Go back. You missed my nipple shot. I'm just laughing at that. Anyway, Art Chemist agrees. John Wright, what's going on, John? I think this run on Silver Surfer is more about what it means to be a herald of Galactus. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. When you talk about I didn't do a wrap up. I love this issue, and a lot of me loving this issue was because it landed so well. Remember, pay attention to my channel, and I argue all the time. Anytime you're going to finish up a series or an arc, or if it's just a short run like a 5-issue limited series or something like that, whatever, 12-issue. Anytime you're going to finish something up, the first issue could be cool. The middle of the series could be fairly boring, as long as it's not boring enough that you stop reading it, But there still has to be a reason to make us want to get to the ending, to stick around for the final issue. And if we get to that final issue, then you've already won most of the battle. But if you can finish that series with a bang and make us look at the final issue and feel some sort of way about something that happens in the book, you just got us to sign on for the next thing that you're going to write. That's what you did. If you make us feel good about the art and say, holy crap, this was really well done, you've got us for the next book that you're going to do, or the next arc or run or whatever. You stick that landing, you make that final thing, just make us go, holy crap. Boom. There you go. Comic books with heart. Yes. Gotcha, Beach. What's up, dude? Nothing. John Wright, I'm hoping Peter David can do a good job with Genis-Vell. Yeah, not a lot of people even know who the character is. He's the son of Captain Mar-vell. So, yeah, hopefully. And Sergio Ruiz, he is in She-Hulk right now, and I think FF at the moment. He who? Oh, Genis-Vell? You know what? I think you're right. I think you're right. I just had my what the heck was his name? Peter Brady. I think I just had my Peter Brady voice losing moment. Finally going through puberty, guys. Yay. Anyway. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, you're probably talking about Genis-Vell. Oh, Jack of Hearts specifically. Okay, cool. I'm glad that I meandered until you said something. Crap. He's in the She-Hulk book right now? That makes sense. He's got a history with her. I think they banged at one point. Who hasn't she banged? She banged Hercules and the Juggernaut almost at the same time. Comic Book University, man, gotta love your channel. Keep doing what you do. Thank you. I try once in a while. Anyways, the link below, there's a Discord. So any of you guys who are here who actually want to talk back to me for a little while at least, I'll be in the Discord. So I'm gonna bounce. Y'all can come along and say hi if you want, or not. You can listen. Whatever. We're gonna be talking about some comic book stuff. I think there are people in the, you know what? Hold on. Let me see if I'm even gonna go to the Discord. Are there people in the Discord right now? I heard there are some people in the Discord. And if there are indeed people in the Discord, can I get to the freaking Discord? Jeez. How hard is this? There are indeed people in the Discord, so I'll be there right now, promptly. All right. Talk to you guys later. Love and peace. Like the video, watch an ad. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Got to click that button too.